After we run one of our geolocation type of operations, uh, you obviously want to capture the data, then you want to analyze the data, and then you want to use the data. Uh, what I'm going to do right now is give you an idea how some of this is done. What I'm going to do right now is view the results of a geolocation capture that we did at the Democratic National Convention, that is the presidential convention, in Philadelphia in July of 2016. Now, what you'll find, and again, the geolocation is basically we surrounded the convention itself, the actual stadium that the convention was held in. And as you'll see from these results, we were able to capture 2,904 actual documents, that is, communications that came from the floor of the convention at that particular location. Now, what I'm going to show you now is how we can look at those results, analyze those results, and where we go from there. The first thing I'm actually going to do right now, if you look at this overview, this is just a general results. This shows you the pattern of results based on a simple algorithm of positive, negative, neutral, etc. It's not specific to individuals or issues. It's just the type of language that's included in the communication itself. So you'll see it ranges from very negative to very positive, as well as neutral. Uh, this is useful when we're trying to analyze consumer sentiment and things like that. Document types down here, you'll be able to see that most of these were Twitter or Instagram, pretty much a 50-50 break there. There's some Flickr in there as well. Languages here obviously were English because it was obviously took place on American soil. We're also going to find out who were the people who communicated the most, uh, going from top to bottom. And you'll see that this individual had 35 bits of data, this one 27, 24, etc. down the line. We can go all the way down the line. And these are basically some URLs, which are really just some describes if anybody is using the same information and redistributing it. In this case, that wasn't necessarily useful in this case. But now what I want to do is actually look at the documents themselves. And as you're going to see right now, um, there's 2,904 documents. And this actually is each of the 2,900 documents here. One by one, as they came in, when they came in, exactly the way they were sent out. Now what I'm going to do right now to simplify this thing is I'm going to minimize the screen to the left, which is just our filter type thing, which we've already selected, which is the Democratic National Convention. And you'll see on the right side of the screen here, this is right here, you'll say this is the actual stadium itself. As you can see, it's very, very specific. I mean, we even actually know the different sections. There's Tom Hortons over there. There's the Grill Works. I mean, we pretty much know a lot about these types of locations. And the circle that we put in this particular case was right around this convention so that we could analyze the communication that was going on there. So now let's analyze some of that communication. As you'll see on the left side of the screen here, these are some of the individuals who were communicating. And you'll see a lot of people send out photographs. A lot of people make communications. I don't know, let's just pick one at random. Here's a guy, Logan Wallace. I guess he took a picture of himself. There it is. Basically, let's see what he said. His comments here were 2016 DNC Day 3, waiting for the president, blah, blah, blah. Here's a copy of his actual tweet in this case. And obviously he was very happy to wait for the president. These are some of the hashtags that this information was also distributed to. And basically you'll see a little bit about this guy from his Twitter account. Let us not seek a Republican answer or a Democrat answer, but the right answer, John F. Kennedy. Sounds pretty reasonable, I guess. Well, let's take a look a little more, get a little more information about this Logan Wallace. Again, we don't know that much about him, so let's find out. Let's do a little author profile. Now, one of the things that the software will do here is it will accumulate different types of things off of the internet. It'll collect any of these other type things. Here's some Twitter accounts that the guy obviously has. We'll also be able to analyze the social media that the guy has done, which basically goes out and captures um, some of the things that he's done elsewhere, some of his communications, what he's basically said. Too cool for school. I'm not sure what a lot of these comments are. Let's see. Does a pretty decent analysis of this fellow. Sometimes there's some internal stuff that's captured as well, which is very much similar to what we just had, and his profile. Now we can also go down from here and find some related profiles. This would be his Twitter profile, it looks like. We can also add this person to a link analysis, which I'm going to show you later. We can add them to a data stream, which also I'm going to show you a little bit later. Well, let's go down the list here. Let's go back and let's go to the sentiment page. And let's see if we can analyze, some of the things. Here's basically, looks like 35 of the comments that came out of here were negative. Let's go take a look at the negative comments, just because that's more fun. And let's see what we got here. And again, here's the convention floor. This is where each of these points came from. But let's take a look at. Here's a guy here. Talk Bernie to me. Okay, here we go. Here's a guy who apparently this guy's a Bernie supporter. Let's take a look at what his initial Instagram chart was. Okay, he's got something to say, obviously. Okay, so much for that. And let's do a little analysis on this fellow. Let's take a look at his profile. He's got a Twitter account. He's got some other accounts. Kind of interesting. Here's some of the other social media accounts that came in, some of the other comments. Obviously this guy likes Bernie. There's his pictures and a few other things. So you'll be able to get a good idea of what kind of person this fellow is. Here's some anti-Trump stuff, I guess. So we obviously know, pretty much where this guy stands. Now, if this is somebody that we want to capture, we'll add them to our data analysis and our link analysis. Now, one of the things we're able to do here as well is as we go through these things and we start zeroing in on certain types of people, we're able to identify who those people are that maybe seem important, or maybe are a center of communication. And what we'll do in that particular case is we'll pull those people out and we'll start to search for them. We'll search them. So Mary Hodge, for instance, I don't know, is she important or not? Maybe not. Scandal, Democratic Convention. Here's a sad, powerful, necessary. Tina Jackson, Clint, whatever. Rachel, Sanders supporters still very upset about Clinton's nomination. These are some of the comments that come out of these things. These are Bernie talk to me fellow again. Here's somebody who's another Bernie supporter, I suppose. The bottom line is this is what we'll do at some point is we'll analyze who the people are and who are important for us to go. Now, if we look at the authors, we can figure out, who the important authors are. Talk to Bernie. Obviously, he was a pretty big guy there. So is Laddie Lib, 86. I guess she was born in 86. Who knows? So in either case, this is one of the ways that we analyze who the people are that we want to target going forward. And what we'll do at this point is after we set up our export, that is the link analysis export, we will then take that to the next part of the program, which actually is a link analysis, and we'll be showing you the results of a couple of those in another demonstration.